Welcome to Meaningfulness, Engineering Purpose in a Complex World podcast series. I'm Djeff B., Principal Architect at Meaningfulness Media Group, where we build rigorous frameworks to uncover objective meaning through authentic connection, ethical systems thinking, and responsible stewardship in an age of AI and informational chaos. If you're seeking evidence-based insights on philosophy, psychology, and human flourishing, you're in the right place. Let's begin.
All right, let's jump right in. Today we're talking about a concept that might sound a little academic, but it's actually one of the most powerful tools you already have. We're talking about metacognition, which is really just the incredible art of thinking about how you think.
So let me just ask you this straight up. How often do you actually take a step back and observe your own thought process? I mean, really look at it. Or are you like most of us, spending a whole lot of time on mental autopilot, just kind of reacting to the world without ever questioning the why behind your own thoughts?
Because at its core, that's what metacognition is all about. It's this fantastic ability we have to monitor, control, and, regulate our own thinking. The real groundwork for this was laid by the educational psychologist John H. Flavell, who helped us see that this isn't just some abstract idea, but a fundamental skill we can all develop. I love this analogy because it just clicks. Thinking about it this way, it means you're the architect of your own mind. You're not just a tenant living inside the building. You're the one who's actively designing it, renovating it, and making its very structure stronger. But this isn't just some fascinating theory to think about. It's a practical superpower, for real. So let's look at how it can literally change the game for your learning, your decisions, and even your overall sense of well-being. First up, let's talk about supercharging your learning. When you use metacognition, you stop being just a passive sponge for information, and you become an active, strategic learner. It's the huge difference between just reading a chapter in a book and truly deeply absorbing what it has to teach you. And this is what that actually looks like. It's so much more than just letting your eyes scan the page, right? Somebody with strong metacognitive skills is constantly checking in with themselves, asking, wait, do I really get this? They'll try to summarize a whole chapter in their own words, or they'll question the author's logic. If something's confusing, they don't just skip it, they actively look for another way to understand it. It's the very definition of learning smarter, not just harder. Okay, next up, making wiser decisions. And this applies to everything, from something as small as what you're going to have for lunch to those huge, life-changing career moves. Metacognition is basically your built-in quality control system for the thousands of choices you make. And this comparison just nails it. An autopilot decision, we've all been there, is totally reactive. It's driven by gut feelings, maybe some hidden biases we don't even know we have, or just the first shiny piece of information we see. But a metacognitive decision? Whoa, that's when you hit pause. You actually scrutinize your own assumptions. You think about where your info is coming from, and you seriously consider the different outcomes. The difference in the result can be absolutely massive. And the benefits just keep rolling in. Metacognition is also a total game changer for mastering your emotions. See, when you start to understand your own cognitive patterns, you can begin to spot the triggers for things like stress or frustration or anxiety before they take over. And this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. The research actually backs it up. This chart here shows a really clear correlation. The more aware you become of your thought processes, the lower your stress levels tend to be, and the higher your self-esteem. It makes sense, right? When you can just observe your thoughts without having to immediately react to them, you gain this incredible power over your own emotional state. So we've seen the very practical day-to-day stuff, but metacognition actually goes way deeper. It's not just a brain hack to make you more productive. It can be a genuine guidepost in our search for a more meaningful life. One of the most powerful things it lets you do is to really align your actions with your deepest values. So instead of just reacting to whatever life throws at you, you can start to intentionally choose the paths that really resonate with who you are and who you want to be. It's all about shifting from a reactive life to a truly intentional one. And this quote just gets right to the heart of it all. Metacognition is the tool that lets us become the authors of our own story. By taking that step back and really examining our experiences, we can interpret them and weave them into a personal narrative that actually makes sense and guides us forward with purpose. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, but the big question is, how do we actually do it? Let's get super practical. Here is your 5-step toolkit to start putting metacognition to work in your own life, like today.
It's time to go from just understanding the idea to actually doing it. So, are you ready to open up the toolbox?
All right, here are the 5 key practices for that toolkit. First, self-reflection. Super simple. Just schedule a moment to pause and ask, what am I thinking right now and why? Second is journaling. This is such a powerful way to get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper, where you can really see them. Third, active questioning, and we're going to zoom in on that one in just a second. Fourth is mindfulness, which is really just the practice of observing your thoughts without judging them. And finally, number 5, consulting resources, which just means staying curious and always learning about how our amazing minds work. Each one is a tool for building better awareness.
Let's drill down on that third one for a moment, questioning, because this is where the magic really starts to happen. But what kinds of questions should you even be asking yourself?
Here are some absolutely fantastic starting points. Asking, why do I think this way? Challenges your default settings. Asking, how did I arrive at this conclusion? Makes you actually trace your steps. What are the assumptions underlying this belief? That one uncovers hidden biases you didn't even know were there. And my personal favorite, what could I do differently next time? That question, right there, is the engine of all personal growth.
So, here's the most important point. When you start practicing these techniques, you are no longer just living in your mind, you become its architect. You become capable of building a more thoughtful, more resilient, and truly more meaningful inner world.
And I really want to leave you with this powerful summary from our source material. Mastering metacognition isn't just about learning a new skill. It's about embodying a whole new way of being, one that elevates how we think, enriches how we feel, and gives our lives a real, genuine sense of purpose.
So the final question really is for you. You are the architect of your own cognition. So what are you going to build?
That's all for this episode. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. If these ideas resonate, continue your journey toward objective meaning and authentic connection at meaningfulness.com.au, where you'll find materials and resources to engineer purpose in your life. Until next time, let's build something meaningful.